I have a question based
Missed
on
out.
this. So, Ronan, how do you maintain your physical and mental health as a content creator?
I don't.
Okay.
That's you're asking the wrong person. I don't. I don't at all. I got a lot of soda cans in my trash can. I believe I had fried chicken, uh macaroni and cheese, and some stuffing last night, and then not even 30 minutes later I had chocolate banana pancakes, two of them with a lot of syrup. Yeah, so not so good. Not so well. And I know what should be done though, and I highly recommend if you can exercise. I don't think you're gonna die if you don't exercise as a streamer, especially if you stream as long as I do. But you definitely should get up and stretch, stuff like that. A lot of senators, stuff like that. I remember Hillary Clinton one year, she had blood clots. It was a serious problem for her because you got to think all you do is sit at a desk all day. So when you sit and stuff all day, you start to form those clots. And if you do it, I'm surprised to this fucking day that I've not got one because of how long I sit at a desk. Like if she got one, how am I not? I mean, she's older, but
Mhm.
still, I definitely recommend getting up and stretching, walk around, keep that blood flowing. Definitely drink properly. Even if you're a fatty like me, drink sodas all day is cool, whatever. But at least get some water in there, or something. You can't just flood your body with straight gamer fuel all day. You gotta eat something right.
Mhm.
Drink something right. Um, and as far as mental health goes, just have friends. Literally, just have friends. I can tell you from someone who doesn't have the greatest mental health, or I wouldn't say I'm like mental or anything like that. Just I'm not, it's not serotonin just flowing up there.
Mhm.
Not a river of serotonin up there. Um, that's probably the biggest thing, and also like having not a lot in life. Growing up from basically nothing kind of deal. Having nothing, the one if I could have one thing out of everything on the graph, I would have friends. That's the biggest thing you could have is friends. Because at the end of the day, if everything got taken away, we went into a mass nuclear, whatever, fallout, blah, 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 dark ages, grid goes off, whatever it is, all this money goes away, all this technology, these streaming, all this shit goes away, and Ninja is the same as me. Computer don't even work. Games can be played. You now just me.
Mhm.
You gotta get a job growing in a field now because we're in a nuclear holocaust or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
Like if all that goes down, all we've got is each other kind of deal. So I think when it comes down to mental health and just enjoying life, that's the best thing. I mean, the worst fear probably any human has collectively to share, other than dying, is being the last person on Earth. And why is that? Because even no human wants to go life alone or something like that. So when it comes to mental health, I think that's the most important thing. When I like tie everything together, it always leads back to having peers or something, people who care. Like what's all the money in the world if you got no one to share it with?
Sir, that's a good answer.
What about you, Mino? How do you maintain your mental health as a content creator?
First of all, I'm not a content creator. Well, I guess I am now. I guess I am
Yes.
now, but it's hard to think of myself that way. Um, I think what Ronan said is right. Having those social IRL social interactions and connections with people. It's a little hard for me because I live in the States and I'm originally from an island where I'm accustomed to people being like within like walking distance. Even though walking distance might be a few miles,
Yeah.
I can just walk to someone's house. But now I have friends who live in Virginia and I live in Maryland, for example. Oh no, don't DDoS me, anybody. My zero viewers. But I have friends who live like in DC, and I don't live that close. It's like a 2 hour drive, you know.
Mhm.
So stuff like that is hard to like. And then people have weird hours. Like my friend, his job, he only has Tuesdays and Wednesdays off. That's his weekend. And then my weekends are just a normal weekend. So when can we ever like get together to do something, you know? And then some of my friends just live so far or they're wrapped up with their kids, and I don't have kids yet.
Mhm.
So it's really hard, but I think the good news is we have the internet and we have virtual chat, so I can do things like this with you guys where I can see you, I can interact with you. Maybe we can't do something in person like a escape room or something, but at least we can still have that social interaction. And I think that's good for mental health.
Yeah, that's actually what I
Um,
meant too, was just having sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Just
no, it's
having friends, period, not even IRL, like just having friends online, because especially in the time we're living with either pandemic, I don't know if that's safe to talk about or even say. I know on YouTube you can't even say that. Um
oh, you can
but
talk about
I know
it.
we weren't live, so that's why I said I don't know if
That's
Twitch
all
is the
good.
same way.
I don't care either
Um
way.
but living in those times, and then just the social engineering times we live in, having online friends is just as good as having IRL friends. You know, back in the day, if someone said they had all their friends were on the game, you'd be like, wow, you know, you're a loser, you know, you only got friends on the internet, which wouldn't make sense now, but back then it did, and that would have been an insult. But now if I said, you know, all my homies are on Xbox Live, people would just be like, oh, okay, like it's just normal. It'd be just as
Mhm.
normal if I said all my friends live down the street. So having online friends, anything that is social, people that you can always come back to. And I don't mean just going into a chat room and talking to people. I mean literally having friends, because it's not the same when you don't when you if when it's just random people all the time, you feel like just a random person wandering around. But when you have friends, you feel like you belong to something. So
Yeah.
online friends online counts as well, because like getting on the game and being alone feels just as alone as going outside and or going to a function and being the only person there, or not going anywhere because no friends. It feels
Mhm.
exactly the same when I get on Destiny and I don't have a squad that's like, hey, you know,
Yeah.
you know how much it sucks to see memes on the internet where it's like when you finally sign online and you get a party invite, you join, and all the boys go, hey, he's here. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I wouldn't know, buddy. I don't know what it's like to join a party and everyone's like, oh, he's here. Nope.
Yeah.
Maybe back when I was 16, I might have had that interaction a couple of times, but I can't remember.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yo, that's true, man. Um, I would say, well, I agree with you, but I sometimes feel like real in-person interactions are a little bit higher. Well, what's the word I'm gonna use?
Definitely more
Like
rewarding. There's
if I had
nothing
to
like
rank,
laughing in person or falling
yeah,
on the
it's
floor
like
in person with your friends than knowing
yeah,
that you're all falling on the floor laughing online. You know,
yeah,
it's definitely
it's a
not the
little
same.
different, but I do agree with you though. I do think that online virtual friends are just well, not just, but are valuable because if like you're someone like me who live in the States but you don't have any friends nearby, like the alternative is what? You know, be
Mhm.
by yourself. Well,
Yeah.
I guess I'm married, so I'll be with my wife all the time. That's
Yeah,
not gonna
yeah.
work.
Yeah, that's actually, and that's the best example I use for that, by the way, is the hanging out with people and laughing. And you ever had that moment where you laugh so hard you're all falling in the floor and
Mhm.
you're laughing for probably
Yep.
about 3 to 5 minutes straight, to the point where your stomach's hurt, maybe your throat too. Um, what makes that moment, like we could all have that right now where we're all dying and I look over and you're dying and I see you fall on the floor and I see you fall
Yeah.
on the floor and then you see me fall on the floor. And we all know we're all on the floor, but it's not the same as when you do it in person, because like I break it down into detail because like you fall on the floor and your homie falls on the floor and you're both laughing and you both look at each other and you make each other laugh even more, or you're
Mhm.
laughing because you know he's dying or whatever. That whole moment builds itself because of the different things that happen in that moment. Once you fall off camera, that's it. Those things, those little interactions can't happen, which it's crazy when I break it down like that. But like that's what makes the moment in or have that scenario in the moment more sweeter than doing it uh not, I guess it would still be in the moment, but like not doing it IRL in person. So
Yeah.
like, because like for me, hanging out with you guys like this is just like hanging out in person until something like that happens. That's really the only thing that separates it for me. I guess because I'm so used to this, but like, and I'm not a touchy feely person. So it's not like when we were 16 and you're hitting at each other. So like, I'm not really like touching on people or something like that. So this is no different than hanging in person or something like that, unless like we're passing beers or something or clinking beers, stuff like
Mhm.
that is what changes it, makes it better. So like with what he was saying, like it, I agree that in person is way better, but you know, online obviously counts too. But yeah, in person is way better.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that too, the like the physical contact thing. Because it's
Yeah,
funny, I'm also a person I don't like. I'm not a touchy feely person. I don't like being touched for the most part.
yeah,
But there's still like that. that option for physical contact, I
Yeah,
guess.
potentially, yeah, like high fives or something like that, or
Right,
maybe,
right.
or maybe you're comfortable with it, so you and your buddy, yo, punch in the shoulder, some shit, all that good shit.
But I came from a world of zero friends. Well, I want to say zero friends, but my friendships were more so not what I would like them to be. So like my college friendships are better than my high school friendships. So in high school I had no friends, not because of anything else besides working for my parents and making sure things were good at home. So I didn't have the time to go out and be with people. So when I was in school, that was the best time of my life. And then after that, college was a little bit different, where I was a little bit more free to do what I wanted to do. I still had to make sure home was good because I was the oldest. But then I started making friends online, and then that became where I could shine because it was my true personality, one. And two, it was just easy to just talk to people. People also talking to me as well. Even to this day, people just talk to me about things. And I think that helps me with my friendships, being able to listen, digest what they're saying, and then give them a response that helps them feel better or helps them make a decision about something. And I think that's how streaming helped me with my mental health. So it actually helped me help myself because I made friends I could talk to and actually build something on. And I know like if I want to play Paladins, I could ask you, you'd be down anytime. If I want to play another game, I got somebody else to play. And it's like you have these little microcosms of friendships that when you need a certain type of friend, like I need to be hype, I'll come to you. If I want to be chill, I'll go somewhere else. Like you have these things that you can find thanks to streaming, for me at least, and that's what helps me get by with it. And also just ignoring the metrics and just it's just another day of gaming or whatever. It doesn't really matter at the end.
Yeah.